Hello, you're watching World News live from Warsaw. My name is Sasha Farba. Drone attacks on the Ukrainian capital Kyiv have claimed the lives of 3 people and injured nearly 30 others, according to local media reports. Kyiv's mayor, Vladimir Putin, wrote on Telegram that 2 high-rise residential buildings were struck. The Kyiv Independent reports that the injured included 7 children. Kyiv and the surrounding region were under air raid alerts for about an hour before the Air Force ended the alert in the early hours of Sunday. Donald Trump says he will only meet with Vladimir Putin if the Russian president is ready to agree a deal over the war in Ukraine. The American leader's comments come just days after the White House shelved plans to meet with Putin because of Russia's apparent refusal to agree to a ceasefire along current battle lines.
What will Russia have to do for you to reschedule your meeting with Putin?
I'm going to have to know that we're going to make a deal. I'm not going to be wasting my time. I've always had a great relationship with Vladimir Putin, but this has been very disappointing. I thought this would have gone long before peace in the Middle East. There's a lot of hatred between the two. Between Zelensky and Putin, there's tremendous hatred.
Lithuania has been forced to close Vilnius airport again after helium weather balloons drifted into its territory for a second consecutive day on Saturday. The airport was also closed last Tuesday and Friday and on October 5th, each time due to balloons entering the capital's airspace. Lithuania has said the balloons are sent by smugglers and carry contraband cigarettes. But it also blames Belarus leader Alexander Lukashenko, who is a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, for not stopping the practice. Authorities also shut down both crossings on the border with Belarus on Saturday. A fire broke out in a waste sorting hall in Elbląg, northern Poland on Saturday evening. Authorities confirmed no one was injured in the incident. The fire broke out in the 60 by 20 meter hall, affecting the facility's warehouse section, while the administrative and office areas remained undamaged. No one was injured, but the cause of the blaze is still under investigation. The city's mayor reported that the sorting plant will need to be rebuilt and that the facility will likely have to reorganize its operations to manage the city's waste in the meantime. Hundreds of civil and criminal cases were left unprocessed by the Kosovo police, an internal report finds. The gross negligence of those involved has lasted over 10 years, leaving many alleged criminals free. Over 380 cases were left unattended by the Kosovan Police Department, resulting in an extensive internal investigation. They include matters ranging from civil complaints and internal disciplinary matters that had been sent to other departments but were not properly processed for verification. The news sparked controversy in the ranks, prompting the prosecution to find the people responsible, a process that continues to this day. Details have not been revealed to the public as the Kosovo Police Inspectorate fears doing so would endanger the integrity of the process. The Hungarian ministry has indirectly labeled Russia a threat, according to Hungarian media. This runs in opposition to statements repeatedly made by the country's top officials. An updated version of Hungary's National Engineer and Climate Plan, drawn up by the Ministry of Energy, states that diversifying petroleum supply is not only in the interest of the country itself, but also of the entire region. The plan further identifies reducing reliance on Russia as a way of, quote, preventing the risk arising from exposure to the dominant supplier. This is in contrast to what Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán said about his country, aiming to bypass the U.S. sanctions on Russia's 2 largest oil companies. Hungary is heavily dependent on Russian supplies that satisfy 85% of the country's fuel consumption, supplemented by a mere 15% of domestic natural gas production. A Russian military court has sentenced a 21-year-old Ukrainian to 14 years in prison for running a pro-Kyiv Telegram channel. The Russian military court in Rostov-on-Don has convicted 21-year-old Yana Suvorova under accusations of terrorism, espionage, and membership in a terrorist group. Suvorova ran the Telegram channel called Melitopol is Ukraine in the Russian-occupied city, where she was detained in 2023 along with 6 other journalists and administrators of the channel. Rights groups, including Reporters Without Borders, said the case is part of a wider campaign targeting Ukrainian journalists in occupied territories, with at least 30 still held by Russia as of April, according to the Institute of Mass Information. A surgeon in Warsaw has remotely performed a robotic operation on a patient in Central Asia, more than 4,000 kilometers away. With a delay of just 100 milliseconds, the procedure shows how far telesurgery has come and how Polish medical teams are taking the lead. Anastasia Yanchenko reports.
Another Polish medical breakthrough is happening as remote surgery is underway. But this time, the distance between the patient and the surgeon is more than 4,000 kilometers, and the only thing connecting them is a robot. Is this the future of a surgery, and could it become soon the part of our everyday life? For the first time in the history of Polish telesurgery, a Polish surgeon has successfully performed a remote, robotic, transcontinental operation between Poland and Central Asia.
The surgery that I performed, it was radical prostatectomy. So the patient is 60 years old with prostate cancer. So via telesurgery, we have removed the prostate. And what is very impressive that the delay between Warsaw and Tashkent was only 100 milliseconds.
As the Warsaw-Tashkent operation was underway, another remote surgery connecting Warsaw and Belgium was taking place in the neighboring operating room. The robot serves as the surgeon's hands, eyes and voice. Both surgeons work from operating rooms equipped with a console system that allows them to control the robot's arms and maneuver instruments inside the patients.
I'm using these handles to maneuverate the instruments in the body so that we can miniaturize the movements and work much more precise than we used to.
The technology behind long-distance remote surgery is now advanced enough to be used more widely, and in Europe it's becoming more common.
In the operating theater, everything is getting robotized. This is all in favor of the patient. We are continuously looking to improve the way we operate the patients, to have better outcome.
And importantly, telesurgery expands access even to areas where no medical professionals are available.
I deeply believe with some kind of crisis like humanitarian crisis or military crisis, or also with the help of robotic technology, we would be able to solve many problems.
In Poland, Warsaw medical teams have become leaders in European robotic medicine, with 300 robotic procedures performed in 2025 alone.
We are very keen on doing this, and also because we deeply believe in this direction of development.
Is anyone doing this technique?
Polish surgeons are preparing to break new ground once again, with another remote surgery planned soon, one that will be the first of its kind in the world.
Take care of your own patients.
Anastasia Yanchenko, TVP World.
We go to the other room, please.
In Łódź, thousands have gathered for the so-called Freedom Games, a major forum of liberal voices debating global politics and democracy. More than 500 speakers and nearly 3,000 participants are taking part. Karolina Szapland reports.
Here at Freedom Games in Łódź, more than 500 speakers have gathered united with one aim: to find a cure for what many say is the ailing British democracy. Among them, a legend of British politics, a former Chief of Staff and Strategist to Tony Blair, Alistair Campbell, with this advice to any politician willing to stand up to the authoritarian right.
I don't think there's any one person or any one style that you can look at. I mean, we're all individuals, people do politics in different ways. I actually think, even though I can't stand what Donald Trump is doing to the world, I think there are things we can learn from the way he communicates. Clarity, always being visible, always being seen to be accessible, speaking in primary colours.
This event runs for 3 days with many keynote speakers still to come, among them Poland's Deputy Prime Minister Radosław Sikorski on security in Europe in these uncertain times. And of course we'll be here in Łódź bringing you all the latest. For TVP World, I'm Karolina Szapland.
The self-harvest trend in Poland is growing fast. More farms are opening their fields and orchards, inviting people to pick their own fruit and vegetables. Alex Zielinski looks at what's driving the movement.
Picking your own apples or pumpkins is a favorite fall-time tradition in the UK. Whole families get together to enjoy the fresh air and spend time together to get in the fall spirit.
I love encouraging people out into a farm, into a countryside, get out of a house. So it's not just my love of the actual pumpkins themselves, it's to get families out enjoying the countryside, getting fresh air in a field.
The trend is also gaining traction in Poland, where interest in pick-your-own produce has been steadily growing year after year, as it offers consumers many advantages.
78% of Poles declares that they are interested in self-picking, self-harvest in Poland. So I think it is a good sign for Polish countryside.
But as consumers across the country discover the opportunities that come with pick your produce, the phenomenon also highlights the challenges that Polish farmers face.
Lack of workers, high costs of production, and fluctuation of the market. So they are looking for alternative channels for the sales for their fruits or vegetables.
Sometimes it's just a vegetable's color that deems it unusable at a processing plant, even though the nutritional value is just the same.
Prices are low, and we can't do anything with it. Because the yellow cauliflower, everything has to be thrown away, since we only use white cauliflower. And everything that is yellow has to be disposed of.
The changing climate also presents a challenge for producers. Unpredictable weather patterns shorten or shift harvest seasons, leading producers to organize self-harvesting, like Anna, who held self-harvest at her tomato plantation.
We've already had first frosts, and the tomatoes have already lost the protection in their leaves.
For many visitors, it's not just the experience that matters. In apple orchards in Mogilnica, hand-picked dessert apples cost 47 cents per kilogram, while in the store they cost €1.41. Near Chalinów, you can pick ground tomatoes for 70 cents per kilogram, while in supermarkets, the same vegetables cost almost €3 for the same amount.
I found out online that it's possible to prevent the tomatoes from going to waste. You can come and pick them. They will be just right for preserves.
Self-harvesting can be searched on social media by entering the phrase in the search engine as well as on dedicated websites.
Probably like most people here, we found out online that there was a need for help and we came to support the farmers.
As more Poles discover the joy of picking their own fruit, farmers are learning to balance tradition, business and the weather. Whether this growing interest in self-harvest will become a lasting part of Poland's agricultural landscape remains to be seen. We'll have to wait until fall 2026 to find out if the trend truly takes root. Alex Zielinski, TVP World.
And that's all for this World News Update, but stay with us. There's much more coming up right here on TVP World, so don't go away.